Rocket League has had many exclusive interesting items throughout its 8 years. Items like the titanium white Zomba and mainframe, to items like the rare 4-time world champion title. Before the 2020 free-to-play update, there were a few ways to obtain these exclusive items, like the use of crates and trade-ups. However, this would all change with the introduction of the item shop. Now that items were being cycled through, it was only a matter of time that these exclusive items would become more accessible, dimming their bright light. Which poses the question, is exclusivity dead in Rocket League? What defines an exclusive item? It's an item that is available to only a few select people and is of high class and expensive. In this case, we'll be referring to items like the white Zombas and the white mainframe as exclusive, since they were rare and heavily sought after by the people in the community. If you played before the major free-to-play update, you probably have a good understanding about the relevancy of these items. Both of them were desired by so many players that they became staples among the player base. One major reason for this was from the rarities. Zombas are classified as exotic rarity, and the white mainframe was classified as a black market. In order to get one of these items, you first had to obtain the crate that had either item in it by extensively playing the game or by trading another player for them. In this case, it would have been a player choice crate, where you had a 4% chance to get an exotic and only a 1% chance for a black market. Something you can't forget is that there were usually 3 to 4 items of the same rarity in the crate, and you need to get the right color out of the 13 possible colors. All of this to say, your odds of getting one of these items was extremely low, so seeing one in your lobby was like seeing some sort of novelty. More than that, it felt special to have them. The other way to obtain items was through trade-ups. Well, not black markets. Before the free-to-play update, the highest rarity you could earn from a trade-up was exotic. So if you had 5 exotic wheels that you didn't like, they just sat in your inventory collecting dust. A popular option from trade-ups was the White Octane. It became a fan favorite because it was still really difficult to obtain, but it wasn't covered by such a high paywall like the Zombas or the white mainframe. It just required your time to grind out the game to earn items to trade up. With the release of free-to-play in September of 2020, also came the removal of crates and the beginning of the end for exclusive items in Rocket League.
It's over.
Up until this point, there were only a few ways for players to earn rare items: opening crates, trade-ups, or trading with others. There was no item shop that cycled items and no such thing as earning tournament credits. Before this major update, many people could argue that the rarity labels held more value. So the release of the titanium white Octane in the item shop had completely split the fans. On one side, they could not be happier with it, as it was about time for it to make an appearance similar to other cars like the Dominus and Fennec. On the other side, fans were furious by Psyonix's decision to release the premium item. The White Octane has been prevalent in Rocket League for over 5 years and built up this reputation from the community to be a premium high-end object in the game. So the biggest problem with its release in the item shop is that the value of it in the community's eyes has fallen drastically. And it's sad to say, it wasn't the only item to fall victim to this. One of the first items to lose its sense of value due to the new item shop system was the white Zombas. They used to be a major staple in the Rocket League community, especially in the competitive scene. And at one point, they were one of the most expensive wheels you could trade for. It was one of the first items presented in the shop and one of the first exclusive items to fall from grace. One by one, these premium items were being released in the shop, reducing not only their trading value, but the notoriety that came with them. You might be saying to yourself, well, they still have exclusive items that you can only get for a limited time from events in the Rocket Pass. And to this, I say, not really. In the case with limited time events, most of the items are easy to obtain, which, according to our definition, would not make it exclusive. So even if you want to say that they are unique because they're limited by time frame, most players already own them, so their clout, if you must, is not high. Now, the Rocket Pass is interesting as it used to be the answer to this problem. With every new pass, there's always been a few items players would grind to acquire. Most of these items were usually painted, which started the hunt for the titanium white version of them. If you didn't know, when the first few passes came out, after tier 70, each person's pass would be different. Meaning, you can get the yellow version of the Rocket Pass car at tier 71, and your friend could get a pair of painted wheels at tier 71. This led to certain items being more exclusive because not everyone was able to receive them. However, this was eventually changed as it did not align with Epic's policy on gambling. Now all the tiers are the same for everyone. So that exclusiveness gets diminished because everyone is guaranteed items at a certain tier, giving it a similar issue to limited time events. So why was the White Octane so important? It was the last premium item that the general player base had a chance to obtain and show off. You also have to remember that before the game became free to play, the only ways you can get the White Octane was by trading up 5 very rare items in the hopes of obtaining one, or by trading another player. That was it. There were no other ways. Because of that, the value of it went through the roof. After the free-to-play update, you can get it by opening an import drop, trading up items, or by trading another player. You might be saying, well, Discreet, there are more ways to get the item, which is good, right? Not necessarily. Yes, there is technically a new way to obtain the White Octane through import drops, but the biggest problem with this is the amount of items that are in the item pool has increased drastically. Import drops and trade-ups include all items of that rarity. Before, the only items that you got from very rare trade-ups were boosts and car bodies. Now, all items that have an import rarity have a chance to get picked. So that would include trails, wheels, and decals. This lowers your chance to obtain the White Octane tremendously. If that's the case, then how can exclusiveness be dying in Rocket League? The item shop. Putting items in a shop for players to purchase is not a bad idea for a game, but for Rocket League, it destroyed the already existing trading market, all from Psyonix giving rarities an actual price. Before, in the trading market, items themselves would go up or down in price regardless of its rarity. When Psyonix decided that items like the Titanium White Zombers were only worth 1,000 credits, it tanked the prices in the trading market. Which, depending on the side you're on, could have been a good or bad thing. Again, these types of things really split the community. It's good some people didn't have to spend a fortune to get some digital wheels, but on the other hand, it took away the glimmer those wheels once had. Lobbies used to have 1, maybe 2 people with White Zombas or a White Octane. Now it's rare if you don't see them in your games, because nearly everyone has them. Is there any way for exclusiveness to return to Rocket League? Absolutely, with tournament rewards and titles. Tournament rewards are a good way for Psyonix to create new exclusive items. Imagine if they dropped a gold version of a really cool gold explosion. People would be grinding countless hours in order to get it. This also wouldn't be a problem because it's not behind a paywall, and the only thing players have to do is grind the game. Or what if they added a new item that utilizes the reactive tag similar to what the Bumblebee car had? There are so many options, but Psyonix needs to recognize that not all of their great ideas need to be behind a pavement. In all honesty, the rarest things in Rocket League aren't even items at this point, but titles. They can show the exclusiveness of the player that uses them. For instance, there are people who like to grind out season rewards or tournaments just to receive a title that they can't get once the season ends. And let's not talk about the even rarer titles like the 4-time world champion title or the developer title. Imagine if TurboPulsa decided to sell his account with the 4-time title. His account would probably be more expensive than the alpha items, which are some of the most exclusive items in the game. And before you say titles aren't a viable replacement for exclusive items, they are obtainable from playing the game or being connected to the game in some way, and it's not behind a paywall. So technically, everyone could get them. But hey, who's to say? Rocket League has changed a lot in its 8-year journey, to the point where some of you don't even know what decryptors are. But now we have emotes in the game and an item shop that cycles new cosmetics weekly. So what do you guys think? Is exclusivity dead in Rocket League? Or is it just that the items we claim are exclusive have changed? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you made it this far, you earned yourself 500 XP coins. Congratulations!